Jai Satchidana, Shuddha.
Jai Sachidanand, dear
Jai
Gabi,
Satchidanand.
Gabi,
Jai
Luz,
Satchidana.
Jai
Reinhild,
Satchidana.
Anila, Patricia, Marcela, Claudia, Olga, Rosie, Devdasi. Ah, so wonderful.
Marce.
Jai
Amazing.
Satchidana.
Jai Sachidanand, Marcela.
Jai
Anyway,
Satchidanand.
amazing group of enlightened ones, Gnani Mahatmas of Dada, to be with, you see. Amazing. It's beyond words, yes, beyond words.
Hermoso,
Words cannot yeah,
hermoso grupo de Mahatmas iluminados, ¿no?
yeah,
Gnani
Mm.
Mahatmas.
yes,
Mm.
Gnani Mahatmas.
Yes.
And I give my namaskars to the Gnani Mahatmas who of Dadashri with the highest devotion, you see, because they and I are one, you see. We are all one, oneness. Yeah.
Mm.
Doy los mis más elevados saludos a los Gnani Mahatmas de Dadashri, la más elevada devoción y que todos somos uno.
Because we are all one.
Eh,
In oneness,
todos en unidad, todos en unidad.
with the view of oneness, you see. This is the foundation, this core, the center of Akram Vignan. It is from there that we move towards absolute liberation. You see, we have to go away from all points of views in a soccer ball, all points of views, not only on the surface of the soccer ball, but everything inside, all points of view going in all directions, you see, going and to come to the center, and that is where our foundation, our base is, you see, our base is.
Ujú.
Mm.
Es que la visión de la unidad es el centro de la Akram Vignan y esto es lo que nos lleva a la liberación. Y, y desde ese centro, como si fuese una pelota de fútbol, hay montones de puntos de vista que van en todas direcciones, pero la base está en el centro.
If you are anywhere outside the center, just like what happens to football, you'll be kicked around from one goal to the other. I want to do this, I want to do that. No, I can't do this, or so you're, and so many players come in. You're not the only one then. You see, you go, boom, you get kicked here, you get kicked here, get kicked here, you know.
Dice, si no estás en el centro, en el centro como si fuera una pelota, ¿no? Sería como estar en una cancha de fútbol donde al no estar en el centro va a haber un montón de jugadores que van a decir, no, vamos para acá, voy a parar, y así la pelota es golpeada en todas las direcciones, ¿no? Porque
Yeah,
no está solo, hay un montón de jugadores.
yeah. Whereas the center is still. The center of every wheel that is spinning is still, absolutely still. See, it's everything. This is the still point, and everything rotates around it. You see, everything rotates around it. Center is where we have entered not only with understanding, but with the exact experience of Swayamapura, his exact experience. Yes.
Es el centro el que se mantiene quieto, estable, y todo el resto de la rueda gira. Y todo eso está alrededor. El centro es donde entramos, y es donde entramos con la exacta alma pura, con el alma pura.
All right. Hola, Tato. Tato, you want to sing the three mantra, my friend? Tato? Yes.
Tato, ¿querés cantar el trimantra?
All right. Ask Sandra then. All right. What does he say?
Sandra, ¿querés cantar el trimantra?
Tato is in Buenos Aires, right? Hola, okay. Okay, he'll come. When he comes,
Hola, buenos días.
okay,
Estoy
all right.
súper engripado. Ama.
He's
Está
with
con
flu.
gripe.
What does he say? Does Tato, you want to sing the same mantra, Tato?
He's with flu.
He's with who?
Flu.
Flu. He sounded
Yeah.
like, hope you get
Yeah.
better. All right, then let's go. Sandra,
Que te mejores entonces y Sandra canta.
Sandra, huh?
Okay. Jai
Gracias.
Satchitanand.
Jai Satchitanand Shuddha Bhagavan. Yeah.
Namo Vidragaya. Namo Arikantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayareyanam. Namo Vazayanam. Namo Loe Saba Sahunam. Eso panchanamukaro sabapa bapanashanu mangalanam shasabezim padaman habai mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchitanand. Namo Vidragaya. Namo Arihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayareyanam. Namo Vazayanam. Namo Loe Saba Sahunam. Eso panchanamukaro sabapa bapanashano mangalanam shasabezim padaman habai mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchitanand. Namo Vidragaya. Namo Arihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayareyanam. Namo Vazayanam. Namo Loe Saba Sahunam. Eso panchanamukaro sabapa bapanashano mangalanam shasabezim padaman habai mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchitanand. Jai Satchitanand. Jai Satchitanand. Jai Satchitanand.
Jai Satchitanand Shuddha Bhagavan. Jai Satchitanand. It is with the Sat Chit. It is with the Chit that is eternal. It is the knowledge.
Chit es con el eterno.
It's a knowledge and the vision that is eternal. That we move in the domain of bliss, you see, in the realm and the reign and the domain of bliss, you see, bliss eternal. Yeah.
El chit es la eterna visión, ¿no? Y de allí nos movemos a la dicha eterna.
With the vision that is beyond the five senses, you see. Beyond the five senses is the vision of the experience of the self, you say. The self arises. The self exists beyond the five senses, you see. The five senses will say, oh, that note was not correct, or that sound is too loud or too little, you see. And the vision that is beyond the five senses essentially lets you remain still as you are in the center and then see the view, the bhaav of the one who is listening and the one who is singing. You see, the file one and the file of Sandra, you see. So this is the eternal chit, eternal vision, you see.
La visión del ser, ¿no? Es más allá de los cinco sentidos. Y surge entonces la visión del ser. La visión de los cinco sentidos siempre va a decir, oh, esta nota no es correcta, esta nota debería ser más elevada, pero con la visión cuando surge la visión del ser, permanece en el centro. Y entonces esa visión es la que puede ver a Sandra, que está cantando. Al file one, que es Sandra, que está cantando. Y la visión, y esa es la visión del ser, la que nos mantiene en el centro.
In anything that is visible through the five senses, you see, the mind, body, and speech, lies the invisible one, and that invisible vision is the vision of the Amapura, the self that you and I are. So we are, become aware that without the presence of that invisible one, the Amurta, no form, no, the formless one, the informless one, the one that cannot be seen. Without that one, it is all useless. It just goes down the drain, you see. The presence of the invisible one makes it meaningful, makes it worthwhile.
Cualquier cosa que tenga que ver con los más allá, con los cinco sentidos, es de lo relativo, ¿no? Y y la presencia de lo invisible es la visión del ser, es la visión de Amurta, el que no tiene forma. Entonces cuando está en esa presencia, todo el resto se vuelve inútil, sin valor.
Ignorance, not being aware of the invisible one within human beings, makes you go all the way to the extremes of throwing bombs on them and killing children and little babies without any awareness, you see. The presence and the knowledge of the visible one and the awareness of the visible one is the only way out of it, you see. Otherwise, the bombing and the saving from bombing, running away from bombs will continue life after life after life, you see.
en la ignorancia de lo invisible, te hace matar, tirar bombas, matar niños, bebés, pero es un estado de inconsciencia, es estar en ignorancia. Y en la conciencia y en el conocimiento, esa es la única forma eh, de, de poder dejar de matar, tirar bombas y herir.
The presence and the experience of the visible one allows you to see the horrible nature of violence that is happening all around. You see, allows you to see the horrors and the tragedy of the violence that exists all around us. You see, and just like. And when you see that, you are in the periphery of the football that when you see all of that, you see from this viewpoint, oh, so much destruction, so much killing, moving away, coming to the center. You see that this is how it is. This is how it is programmed. Yes, this is how it is happening. It's not your, you see bombs and counter bombs and offense and counter offense and defense and offense going on. You see, uh, and it is only with the vision of the self that you begin to become free from it. Otherwise, whether you like it or not, you get pulled in one way, one side or the other. You get thrown into this world of duality, you see. Thrown in this world of duality, center, duality, you see. Keeps coming back at you, you see. And every time it keeps coming back at you, you see it differently, you see. It's the same spinning around, you see.
Yes. Dice que solo estando en la presencia, si no estás en la presencia, estás viendo todo lo horrible, la tragedia y toda esta violencia que nos rodea. Solo yendo al centro puedes ver que todo lo que está sucediendo es algo que ya está programado. Y en esta programación hay defensa, ofensa y continúa así. Solo con la visión de la unidad, la visión del ser, te liberas. Y si no, esto te arrastra a este mundo que es el mundo de la dualidad. Cada vez que sales del centro, vuelves a ese caos de violencia.
If the soccer ball is very critical, you have, it's this body complex, mind's body complex, and the Amapura together is a giant soccer ball, you see, mind, speech, and body revolving in so many different directions, like the spoke of a bicycle wheel. You see, the bicycle wheel has got so many wires going in so many different directions. And then once it's moving, you can't see them individually, you see, you just see through it, you see. But you see, and then when it slows down, you see the spokes of the bicycle wheel, the spokes, the wires that go from the center to the tire, you see, all the way. And so, in the current era of the time cycle, the wheels of everyone is spinning so much that it is impossible to really kind of see even where you are, in this. You're certainly not in the center. Center means Swayama Pura. You're just revolving at the periphery in what the mind shows, what the chit shows, what the intellect shows. Intellect says, I'm hurt. I'm going to, I'm hurt, or I'm unhappy, or I'm in pain. You see, all of these things just continue. There is no people of the current era of the same time cycle in this Kali Yuga do not even have space to really reflect upon. Forget about who am I. They can't even reflect where am I? Where am I in this world? What the hell am I running around for? You know. Yeah.
Esto es el ejemplo del fútbol es importantísimo, ¿no? Y ves la mente, el cuerpo, el habla, el complejo, ¿no? Y el alma, y junto con el alma pura es gigante. Y puedes ver, por ejemplo, como la rueda de la bicicleta, ves que los rayos se mueven en todas las direcciones. Y cuando se mueven con tanta rapidez que no puedes ver los rayos, puedes ver a través de los rayos. Pero el centro ves, y desde el centro ves, cuando tú estás en el centro, puedes ver hasta los rayos y puedes ver hasta la goma de la rueda de la bicicleta. En este tiempo del ciclo somos incapaces de ver dónde estamos y qué es lo que está pasando, pero al estar en el centro podemos ver absolutamente todo lo que sucede. En Kali Yuga no hay no hay, en esta era del tiempo es como que la gente no sabe dónde está o qué es lo que está sucediendo.
And we talked about the exact understanding of the word bhaav. You see, bhaav is the view, you see. Bhaav is the view. Bhaav is not intention. The word bhaav means that which precedes intention, that which is before the intention. It is the view with which you see in the relative depending on where you are, you see. If you are in a nightclub, you have the view of having yourself a good time. And if you are in the church, you are with the view, enough is enough. Now I want to be with my God and I want to be free from all this nonsense. Both of these are views. Both of these are views of the spokes of the will, the duality. This has got nothing to do with you. It's got nothing to do with you. It has got everything to do with the one with the view. The one with the view is, remember, he's never in the center. The one in the view is always spinning. Only the Mahatmas of Dada have come to the center. That's why they're called Gnani Mahatmas.
El exacto entendimiento de bhaav es la visión, es lo que precede a la intención. Y lo que vemos, por ejemplo, podemos ver, estás en un nightclub y puedes decir, bueno, está pasando un buen tiempo, o estás en una iglesia y decís, bueno, me quiero liberar de toda esta tontería. Pero en realidad es estar, la unidad nos libera de toda esta dualidad. El que tiene la visión, el que tiene la visión de lo que está sucediendo afuera no están en el centro, ¿no? Y nosotros los Mahatmas estamos en el centro, que tenemos el Gnani, somos Gnani Mahatmas.
You know, the goalkeeper of the national team of Argentina in soccer cannot see exactly what is going on the other side of the field, where the ball is, you see. He has a general idea. But if he comes to the middle, and looks at it all exactly, he knows exactly how now or where the ball is moving, what is really happening, you see.
En fútbol, el que tiene la pelota o sí, o el que hace el gol, no ve lo que está pasando del otro lado del campo, no tiene la visión completa, solo puede ver lo que está sucediendo allí, no ve lo que está sucediendo.
And who can see it in exactness, in real, not in exactness, but who can see it live, is the one who is facing, who is so close to the ball, has got the football or the soccer ball and his feet, and has got the opposite player also, chasing it. So now we've got the exact view. Okay, here's the ball, here's this person, and this is what. So the exact view is in the eyes of the two players who are chasing the ball, you see, who are focused on the ball, the exact view, you see.
Si alguien, ¿quién es el que tiene la exacta visión? Está en los ojos de los jugadores que tienen la pelota. Los que están lejos están viendo parte, pero el juego exacto está en los ojos de quienes tienen la pelota.
And so in life, everybody is kicking, chasing the ball from one goal to the other, you see, running around. And now you and I know, my friends, that neither the kicking of the ball, or where the ball goes and where it stops is out of our hands. You see, we are not kicking. File 1 is kicking it here and there, but you and I, are not kicking. We are now, seeing the whole game unfold in front of you, you see, the whole game of life. As you and I know it, life of Anila, life of Sandra, life of Patricia, Shuddha, unfolding, unfolding in front of us. The play, you see, the jogo, the play.
Yes. En la vida están pateando la pelota de un lado para el otro, no pegándole, y está fuera de nuestro alcance. Nosotros no golpeamos la pelota, podemos ver el juego, y el juego es lo que está sucediendo, que está desenvolviéndose. Vemos el juego completo,
And
lo
so
que está sucediendo.
who are all the players in this field? The answer is the ego of Guruttam. You see, the answer is the egos of Guruttam. I'm something. I can move this way. I can move this way. You see, this is the ego of doership, the ego of Guruttam. I'm better. The ego of pride, ego of doership. You see, so we,
Acá está el ego, el Guruttam del ego, ¿no? Es el jugador, el hacedor, yo hago, yo pateé, yo gané. Este es el ego del orgullo.
And we too, in discharge, in discharge, the remaining ego of in file 1, Sukshma Ahankar, Sukshmatar Ahankar. You see, the two egos that in the visible ego, all three levels of ego that are discharging in file 1, you see, but they have no life in it, They are not the energized players of any soccer team. They are the ones who are sitting in the sidelines having accepted defeat. They say, hey, this is, let them play. Whoever wants to play, let them play,
Dice que el ego es como, hay dos egos y son visibles, ¿no? Y son egos que están descargando y que descargan y no tienen ninguna clase de energía. El Laghuttam.
Laguttam. Laghu, see, there are three words, okay? Laghu means light. Laghutar, T-A-R, means lighter. And Laghuttam means the lightest of all. That applies to the Gnani. That means there is
Yes,
zero,
I remember.
zero ego. Yeah.
Yeah. Está Laghu, que es ego, después Laghutar, que es un ego más liviano, y después el Laghuttam, que es cero ego.
Yeah.
Cero
So
ego.
the Gnani has Laghuttam ego. In other words, all of these egos can only operate in the relative, in Gabi, in Tato, in Reinheld, etc. You see, the egos are in the relative. Ego is always there. You cannot do anything with the ego anymore. You can pull yourself away. You are already separate, so you do not go there. You see what the ego Gabi, the discharging ego Gabi is doing. As long as that ego is doing the routine work of the life of Gabi and not hurting anyone, you're fine. But the ego by nature will hurt others, even in discharge. And that is when you go in higher gear of your vision. Yes, Gabi, what are you doing? Gabi, what happened just now? So then Gabi will say, sorry, Dada, I do pratikraman,
Ujú. El ego es en lo relativo, ¿no? Y cuando está en descarga no puedes hacer absolutamente nada. Estás separado y ves la descarga. Y ves la descarga sin herir a nadie, entonces todo está bien. Y el ego por naturaleza siempre pega, ¿no? Como hiere. Y por ejemplo, si esto le sucede a Gaby, Gaby lo ve, dice perdón, perdón Dada, y hace practicraman.
Now, in the last week, we covered this thing here. And I would like for you to just read the Spanish, okay? Just to kind of refresh
Okay.
everyone. Yes.
Ujú. ¿Cómo define usted Laghttam? Le preguntan a Dadashri. ¿Cómo define usted el Laghttam? Cuando nuestro ego alcanza el punto de 0 grados, ¿se considera esto Laghttam? Dadashri. No, el ego sigue siendo el mismo, pero la creencia del ego cambia a yo soy más pequeño que todos. Y yo soy más pequeño que todos. Y eso también es un tipo de ego. Es tal que lagu significa soy pequeño, soy pequeño. Además, Laguttam significa soy incluso más pequeño que pequeño. Y Laguttam es el ego que dice, todo el mundo es más grande que yo. Así que eso también es un tipo de ego.
Okay, now we have already read all this, okay? So we have gone through the superior ego, the inferior ego, and what happens with the Laghuttam bhaav, the view, see, Dada said, I remain in the Vyavahar, in worldly interactions, I remain in Laghuttam bhaav. I have zero ego. Ego is not moving. There is ego, but the belief that it is happening to me is not there, you see. This, and we covered all of these things last time. Okay, go on.
Yes.
Just read this much. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
¿Cómo?
Dice,
Patri,
con...
¿nos puede
Dale,
leer?
por favor, gracias,
Yeah,
gracias.
yes, thank you, Luz. Yeah. Luz, read this.
Yes.
Con respecto a y a bajar, nosotros permanecemos en la Laghuttam. Esta mente, intelecto, chit, ego, que compone el antakarán, mecanismo de funcionamiento interno de cada ser humano, junto con la ira, orgullo, engaño, codicia, son todos considerados y a bajar. Con respecto a y a bajar, nosotros somos la Laghuttam. ¿Y qué somos nosotros con respecto a Nishai? Nosotros estamos en Gurutamba, y por nuestra naturaleza inherente como ser, nosotros somos Abel Swarup, sin separación con ningún ser vivo, uno con el ser. Nosotros no estamos separados en lo más mínimo de ti, de él o de cualquier otra persona. Nosotros no estamos separados de ninguna Acharya, maestro espiritual prominente. Y nosotros ni siquiera estamos separados de este burro que pasa por aquí. Por eso no siento separación con nadie en este mundo. No es que considere míos solo a los que han venido aquí. Considero a todos como míos y yo soy de ellos.
And we read all of these things last satsang all the way until we read all of these things, you see, and then we started to read this and just read this. We still covered last this again. Read this here, Luz.
¿Podrías leer esto, Luz, que dice ver a todos con visión de unidad, por favor?
Ver a todos con una visión de unidad, actuar con la visión de unidad, moverse con una visión de unidad, mantener solo la visión de unidad. Significa dejar ir las creencias como esta persona está separada. Eso en sí mismo se llama la encarnación del amor, Prem Swarup.
Yes, very good. So we went on. Let me see how much we read. We read the first paragraph and the second paragraph of Prem Swarup. Okay, so now you see. So let's read the first two paragraphs here again. This one here, or
Ahora, Luz, ahora,
Luz.
Ahora, por tanta separación con otros seres vivos que abandones, tanto puro amor es el que surge. ¿Qué debe salir de ti para que surja el amor puro? Cuando se sustrae algo, entonces puede surgir otra cosa. Por lo tanto, no es posible que el vacío permanezca como está. Entonces, por tanta separación que salga, tanto amor puro surge. Cuando la separación desaparece por completo, surge por completo el amor puro. Este es el único método.
And this is first paragraph. This thing is the beginning of the view of oneness, you see. The view of oneness means, number one, when you become one with yourself, you see, you do not any belief, any view that I am Shuddha, okay, or loose, is the loss of this view of oneness. You see, the view of the oneness is Eo Samapura, Soyamapura, and this is file 1, but really now I am in the center, the view, and the view of oneness begins by coming to the center of this entire universal science that is now operating. There's a universal science operating called Vignan of the self, you see. I am the science that is the self, and I have come into the center, and now I see Gabriel, Luz, Marcela, Cecilia, all as the same as I, a part of my world. They say they are absolutely pure, absolutely faultless, and they too have attained this Gnan and experience of the Gnani Purush Dadashri's science, you see. Yeah.
Nosotros somos la ciencia, ¿no? El centro de la ciencia y desde allí podemos ver que esta es luz, esta es Shuddha, desde esta ciencia puedo ver que todo es parte de mí, ¿no? Son todos seres puros, son todos seres en unidad y con la ciencia del Gnani.
Yeah, it is without the entry into the self, without the awakening and the awareness into and of the self, Amapura, it is impossible to have the view of oneness. There is no oneness, because when you are away from the center and you are in the spokes, then you see, it is impossible for you not to spin. And when you spin, your views are continuously changing. You'll say, oh, the people, the Mahatmas that you like and get along with, oh, we are one. And some Mahatma objects and confronts you, you move away. In the moment of moving towards or away from, that is the rag-dvesh, of course. But, that is, it doesn't happen to us, but, you temporarily dislike that Mahatma, so you're spinning. You cannot the love exists only here in the center, in the Amapura, you see, and that is what Luz just read, Shuddha Prem, pure love. So, if pure love cannot arise, and if your love cannot arise, there is no oneness. There is no oneness. This is so critical to understand, you see.
Dice, sin estar en el ser, sin estar en el alma pura, no puedes estar en el centro. Y vas a estar girando, y en la medida en que giras vas a tener la visión o puntos de vista diferentes, depende a dónde esté girando este rayo, ¿no? Y vas a estar moviéndote todo el tiempo, y esto es el apego y es la aversión. Para poder estar en el centro. En el centro está el amor verdadero, el Shuddha Prem que estuvimos
Yeah,
viendo.
okay. Yes, go on. Yeah.
No,
Yes.
it's finished.
Yes, Luz. Luz, you want to say something?
Decir algo.
Sí, la pregunta es en relación a Laghttam. Nosotros ya somos Laghttam y tenemos la interferencia de nuestro ego, o tenemos que desarrollar atributos como por ejemplo la humildad para llegar a Laghttam.
Say that again. Yeah, what did she
Are
say?
we Laghuttam? The question is, are we Laghuttam, or we have to Laghuttam and we have the interference of ego, and we have to develop or humble?
We are beyond Laguttam. We are Amapuras. Amapura does not have Laguttam nor Guruttam. You see, Amapura is Guruttam. Guruttam means there is nothing higher than the Amapura. Amapura is supreme. You see, so Amapura is Guruttam, but in the relative world interactions, you see, you have to let go of I am loose. Even the little bit of I am loose is Gurutam, Guru, is heaviness. When you let that one is whole, this much I am loose brings you down by this much. Whereas when there is no I am loose, you're poof, automatically so light, you are out of this spinning cycle, you see. So it's the ego that says I am Guru, I am loose, you see. So when there is no ego, see, you become like Dada in the relative. You see, Dada had a body, but he was moving about without any ego. Belief, ego sense, there was no ego left at all. Only the ego that moves Dada to eat something or go to bed or, etc. But, and the speaking was happening automatically. The question comes, the answer comes. The speaking was a taped record playing, you see. Sorry, long answer. Go on.
Beautiful. Dice que nosotros somos alma pura, estamos más allá de Laghttam, y el alma pura está en equilibrio, no se desbalancea, porque está en el centro. Entonces, nada más cuando estamos así en el centro, inmediatamente surge el alma pura y eso es Laghttam. Pero en lo relativo, dejar ir, yo soy luz, ¿no? Porque eso te hace descender. Y cuando estás y sabes que yo no soy luz, inmediatamente surge la energía maravillosa y estás en el centro. Ya solo decir, el ego dice, bueno, yo soy luz. Y desde el no ego, en verdad sos como Dada, ¿no? Dada tenía su cuerpo, Dada se movía, comía, dormía. Y cuando le hacían alguna palabra, alguna pregunta, la palabra surgía en forma automática, sucedía.
Yeah. You see, It's a view. It's a belief. It's a belief that is based on the light of the self. You see, the light of the self is who you are. In that light, you realize that scientific circumstantial evidence is doing everything. So who are you? You see, you are just an evidence. Luz is just an evidence. That and this view is Laghuttam view. This is actually the pure view, you see, pure view of the Amapura. But in the relative, what are we going to, how are we going to define it? How are we going to say that, when you say that scientific circumstantial evidence is the doer, then where is the view and the belief of Luz? You see?
Dice que es la creencia, ¿no? En la luz del ser. Y en esta luz tú te das cuenta que son las evidencias científicas circunstanciales las que gobiernan tu vida y el universo, ¿no? Y que luz es una evidencia, y esto es la visión pura, esto es el Laghttam. ¿Cómo lo decimos, no? Son las evidencias científicas circunstanciales las que hacen, no luz.
Light, you see, it's way. Did you get that point? It's important. You see, it's the view of the self increases. The view, Amapura view. Amapura view, Amapura experience. Okay, Amapura view, it begins with the view, soy Amapura. I am this, I am that, I am not this, I am this, I am not that, I am this, I am not that. This is the view of Amapura. But when all that combine, then that becomes the experience of the Amapura, that nothing touches me. I am beyond anger, pride, deceit, and greed. I am invisible. I am very subtle. I never fall. All of those qualities of the self, when they all come together, that is the experience of the Amapura, and that has begun within each one of us by 2% in the Gnanvedi, and by now already significantly higher, but it doesn't matter. We are not worried about the percentage. We cannot quantify the percentage. We can quantify the extent, the amount by which we remain in agnas of Dada, you see. Sorry, long answer, a long sentence.
En la visión del ser, nosotros podemos ver que realmente quiénes somos, ¿no? Y ahí comienza la visión, y la visión es de, soy esto, soy alma pura, y después cuando todo esto va, esto no soy, ¿no? No soy este cuerpo, no soy la hacedora, y cuando esta visión se establece también surge la experiencia. La experiencia es que nada me toca, soy libre de la ira, el orgullo, la codicia, el engaño. Nada me puede tocar, y cuando todo esto está establecido, ¿no? Empieza a surgir. Nosotros tuvimos la tuvimos en el Gnani, una experiencia del 2%, y esto no puede cuantificarse, ¿no? El porcentaje, solo es estar en la visión de las agnas, Agna Vision.
Yeah. Again, the spokes of the bicycle spinning. You see, bicycle wheel spinning, spokes in different directions. And everything on a spoke, everything from the center to the periphery is ego belief, is ego. The light ego will spin very little, it remains closer to the center, The heavy ego gets thrown up farther and farther. The heaviest ego are, big balls. They rotate much more heavier, you see. They spin much more heavier, and they get affected much more heavier, you see. They get hurt much more heavier, and they hurt others much more heavily, you see.
Volviendo al ejemplo de la rueda de la bicicleta, ¿no? Estamos en el centro. Y los rayos salen de ese centro. Y están los que salen así fuertes, que son los egos pesados, ¿no? Que lastiman, y lastiman, es el ego y son las creencias del ego, y lo hace un ego pesado que lastima a todos. Y el ego más liviano es este que está más más cerca del centro.
You see, that is our experience, you see. No matter what kind of personal difficulties or, or externally induced difficulties we go through in life currently, okay? And we all go through all of that through the, after the Gnani process, you see, in this life, we realize that there is an instant way of becoming free from this hurt and pain and this causing hurt to others and pain. And that is, hey, come to the right location. The right location is the self where there is no spinning whatsoever, where there is no movement whatsoever, you see. Come home first. That is the home, self, you see. And then to see that which spins, then to see the dying ego of file one, the dying ego, the discharging ego, you see. We are not concerned with another spinning somebody else's bicycle wheel, you are only concerned with your own, you see, with your own. There is no going anywhere, and there is no coming to anywhere. There is all your going and coming has ceased, stopped, you see, because it was useless. All the going and coming was useless, you see. It was called spinning. Spinning. I like the word spinning.
Dice que es nuestra experiencia, no importa cuántas dificultades sucedan en la vida. Nosotros ya nos dimos cuenta de que nos liberamos, ¿no? Nos liberamos del placer, del dolor. Y esto, la liberación sucede por estar en el lugar correcto, ¿no? Que es el ser. Entonces se vuelve al hogar. El hogar es el ser. Y luego ves cómo todo gira. Y ves el ego en su descarga, cómo muere. Y solo ves ves tus rayos, ves el movimiento tuyo, no de los demás, no vas y volvés. Y entonces eso es tu liberación, ¿no?
See, there is the word absolute signifies anything that arises from the center, the center of, just again the football or the bicycle wheel, that which arises from the center is one. It doesn't move. It is the common factor of anything that revolves in this world, which is the revolutions of the mind, the revolutions of the intellect, the revolutions of the ego, you see, and all egos in this world, and there are billions of egos. Okay, all of these are revolving, you see. All of these are, that's duality. And in that dual vision, they will see the good or the bad, or the correct or the incorrect, or the right or the wrong, or this goal versus the wrong goal, my goal post, his goal post, you see. And it continues. It's the revolutions, you see. And that is called the duality. And that is the nature of this existence of I am Patri, I am Susan, I am Carlos, soy Amapura. And there is no duality. The duality disappears, you see. The duality is not in part of our vision. Our vision sees the duality, but our experience is beyond duality. See, our experience is beyond duality.
Dice que lo absoluto surge, es cuando surge del centro. Entonces, es como el centro de la rueda de la bicicleta y allí no se mueve. Y desde allí podemos ver que la revolución que sucede en la mente, en el intelecto, en el ego, y todos los egos son relativos y tienen esta visión dual, es visión dual. Esto me gusta, esto no me gusta, esto es bueno, esto es malo, lo mío versus lo tuyo. Todo es todo es una revolución. Y es la naturaleza de este mundo, ¿no? Pero cuando la visión de que soy alma pura, en la visión de que soy alma pura, no existe la dualidad y desaparece la visión dual.
You see, you cannot see the self. You cannot see the self if you are spinning. You cannot see the center if you're spinning, because by nature you're spinning. This is the center and this is spinning. Nothing that is spinning can see the self. They can see only where it's going. It's being thrown away and away and away and away. Oh, my ball, this is her ball. He's coming for my ball. You say, yes, my ball. They are coming for my home, my car. Well, they are coming for my people. They are driving away my people, you see. If you happen to be a Latino without visa in America, it's a horrible situation right now, you see. My center vision is the vision of the blissful one, you see. The center vision is the vision of the blissful one. You and I are blissful, and we see the horrors of the ignorant world that is spinning. You see, the ignorant world does not recognize that these are the very people who have picked your oranges and your fruits and cultivated your, nice green things that you like to eat, you see, in the hot sun, you see. And they've done that for years and years, and now you're throwing them out, you see.
Dice, no se puede ver, no puedes ver el ser si estás en movimiento. Si estás, no podés verlo. Solo desde el centro, desde la visión del centro, puedes estar en el ser dichoso. Y nosotros somos el ser dichoso, porque podemos ver cómo se mueve el resto. También podemos ver que suceden cosas horribles. Por ejemplo, como personas que cultivaron la tierra, que cultivaron los alimentos, las frutas, a rayo de sol caliente, como ahora pueden estar echándolos del país, ¿no? Pero esto eh, es, es, es ego, ¿no? Descarga, ego. Discharge. Is this too?
Yes, everything, the ability, everybody's in this world with a mind, body, and speech are essentially going through the effects of the causes that were created in a previous life. You see, it's all discharging. It's discharging for the one who is not had the Gnan Vidhi, and it is discharging for the one who has had the Gnan Vidhi. All of us are discharging. The only difference is we can see it. You and I can see it as a discharge, whereas the ignorant one simply cannot understand discharge or charge. You see, they just believe it to be real. He is doing this to me. This government is doing this to me. He cannot understand. There is no way for the poor soul to understand that this is my own that is coming to me. You see, this is my own. You see, they do not have the cause and effect vision. You see, they only see the effect as real, whereas we see the effect as relative. You see.
Ujú. Nosotros nosotros vemos que los efectos de la mente, del cuerpo y del habla en descarga para todos, ¿no? La gente para todos, con o sin envidia. Nosotros podemos ver que todo lo que sucede es una descarga, pero las personas que no tienen el conocimiento, que no tienen el Nanvidi, no lo pueden ver y creen que esto les pasa, me pasa esto, me hacen esto, esto me sucede a mí. Y entonces ven a los efectos como algo real y no la visión de nuestra es que vemos que esto es relativo, que es el efecto de lo que se ha cargado en vida previa.
Yeah. There is an effect, and it will bother you, but it bothers you just like it is happening to the neighbor. You see, doesn't touch you. If with the right understanding, you are untouched, unaffected, nirlep, Nirlep, you're nirlep, you see? Yeah.
Nosotros podemos ver, o sea, esta descarga puede molestarnos, pero nosotros lo podemos ver que esto es un efecto, pero que no toca, ¿no? Estamos viendo que es un efecto, estamos en near lip, que es estar, que no nos toca, nada nos puede tocar.
Does everybody understand what I gave the example of this people who are not white Americans, you see, but who but who are singled out because of the color of their skin right now in America, and are being forcibly thrown out of the country. You understand what is going on? Everybody understand what's going on in the relative?
Entienden qué es lo que está sucediendo en lo relativo, por ejemplo, en Estados Unidos, que las personas son echadas solo por su color de piel, porque no son blancos. ¿Ustedes entienden esto? ¿Saben que está pasando eso en Estados Unidos?
Yes. And if you have exploited the black people in South Africa, you see, and you have amassed your wealth out there in South Africa, and then you are brought here as refugees because you're white. That's what's happening, you see. Those people were racist exploiters of, and who have lived on the blood and the sweat of black Africans, South Africans, you see. They are brought in as refugees deliberately to show the world that these are the refugees, you see. You see this very crazy views of the world that is nothing but egos, heavy egos destroying egos, you see, heavy egos. You see this is what is happening to the one country which had the best constitution in the world, the constitution of we the people are equal, etc., right? Abhed. we are one under one. We are all have equal rights. We have all equal rights. In the relative, they have no awareness of the self, Amapura, but they chant the constitution by its charter says every human being of this nation has equal rights, equal.
Mhm. Yes, there is no coherence between what they think, they say, and they do.
Yeah, well, that's right. And there is a lot of deceit and deception that is going on. It is not their fault. This is the heavy deceit that makes them move so far away from their souls, their own amapuras. You see, so this is the heavier your ego, the more you move away from yourself. You see, they simply have no understanding of God or love or decency. Everything that Dada talks about love is out of their imagination even. Forget about out of their dictionary. They can't even imagine such a state, you see.
Yes, complete ignorance. Ustedes saben que hay, por ejemplo, han traído gente de Sudáfrica, gente de raza negra, y son razas que son explotadas, ¿no? Y las trajeron como refugiados. Es una loca visión de los egos pesados que destruyen. Que destruyen. Y ahora, por ejemplo, en Estados Unidos, que se supone que tiene la mejor constitución del mundo, donde dice que nosotros los ciudadanos todos tenemos los mismos derechos, y están haciendo lo que están haciendo, ¿no? Tienen el conocimiento más mínimo de lo que es el alma pura, son egos eh, que, que, que destruyen, que son egos pesados, que no tienen ni idea en este engaño que están viviendo y que hacen vivir, no tienen ningún entendimiento, no saben lo que es Dios, lo que es amor, lo que es la decencia, ni siquiera se pueden imaginar qué es eso. No conciencia, no, sin conciencia.
Yeah, zero conscience. There is zero empathy. There is zero love. There is nothing but greed and deceit, you see. This is acquiring and extending your power through greed and deceit, you see. And it leads to an increasing violent world, more violence. When we were little children, when we were little boys and girls, we didn't see, there was not this much violence in the world,
No.
Yeah.
Dice que todo esto está movido por la codicia, por el engaño, y que esto lo que hace es crecer la violencia. Y en el recuerdo, ¿no? Que cuando nosotros éramos pequeños no había tanta violencia en el mundo.
My dear friends and my dear awakened ones of Dada, it is absolute grace in operation that we have been absolutely removed from any remnant of the ego. This ego by definition does not exist in a Mahatma, you see. It has been broken. It has been shattered at the very foundation, at the Sukshmatam level. So there is no ego, and instead the Amapura has arisen, you see, and we have come home, you see, and we have come home forever, you see. And in our vision, we are completely liberated, you see. We can see the discharging ego of Shuddha, you, the discharging ego of Gabi, you, the discharging ego of Reinheld or Julia or Herman. You see the discharging ego. And let it burn, let it die. It doesn't have any value. There is only And in these two viewpoints, there is no ego. So I am a pura, and this is relative. There is no ego. In the five agnas, there is no ego. In the fourth agna, there is no ego. You see, there is no ego.
El ego no existe. El ego no existe para los Mahatmas. Es el alma pura que ha surgido y volvemos al hogar para siempre. Y solo vemos la descarga. Mi descarga, puedo ver la descarga de otro, pero solo déjalo que se queme, porque soy alma pura. El ego deja de existir. En las agnas, el ego no existe.
Yes, Gabi, I know you have raised the hands.
Sorry,
Let's, yeah.
are you recording this? I don't see
Yes,
the...
yeah, it is recording.
Okay,
Yes, thank
sorry.
you for reminding me. All right. So remind me in the beginning and keep an eye on the recording, all of you, because,
Yes,
yeah.
I just see and remember.
Yes,
Sorry, sorry.
last evening I was almost 5 minutes in the Brazil satsang,
In
and then
satsang.
suddenly Denise says, "Shuddha, are you recording?" And then I saw, oh no, I'm not recording, because once this train of Shuddha starts, it just only stops
Don't
at the
stop.
end. Yeah, my eyes don't go there. Is it recording or is it not recording? So Gabi, I know you've asked a question, my dear. We will come back after the break, huh? Let's take a little break, 10 minutes, huh? Shuddhatam
Gaby,
Bhagwan.
vamos a ir al recreo ahora y después sé que está con una pregunta. Así que vamos a recreo. Jai Sachitanand Shuddha.
Jai Sachitanand.
Jai Sachidanand Marcela.
10 minutos de recreo.
Yeah, thank
10
you.
minutes.
Tell me, huh? Okay.
Gabby has a question.
Okay, Shuddhatma Bhagwan. Gabi, yes, Sachidanand.
Dice Chidanan,
Mm-hmm.
Shiva,
Mm-hmm.
desde el inicio, la liberación ha sido el fin último.
Sí, es el... Repetime la pregunta que te entienda, por favor.
Si desde el inicio la
Sí,
liberación
sí.
ha sido el fin último.
Ah, gracias. Gabby's question is if since the very beginning, the freedom is the ultimate goal.
Every soul with a body, every body has a soul. You see, every human body has a soul, and every human being is bound, is because and remains bound, remains in the prison of ignorance, you see, not knowing who am I. But having gone through experiences in this life and previous life after life, you see, running around, spinning, going in the direction of pleasure, running away from pain, only the special ones begin to realize what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of life? Who am I? Am I really this body, you see? What is my goal? You know, he doesn't know what his goal is. He just says, I want the kind of pleasure and happiness that does not leave. I just want to be free, you see. I want to be left alone. And so, even the idea that I am bound does not arise, that I am in a prison of my own vision, in the way I see the world. The way I see the world is my prison, you see, it imprisons me. And it is only through the words of spiritual masters and then a rare enlightened one that they begin to understand the meaning of the reality, you see. They have not experienced the reality, but they understand that there is the possibility of peace and harmony in life and freedom, you see. Freedom is not understood by human beings of this world, you see. They do not understand freedom. They just understand this relative freedom. I want to be free. I should not, the people should not oppress me. I don't want governments that may abuse me. That is not freedom. Freedom is inside. Gabi. Freedom is inside.
Dice que todo cuerpo, todo ser humano tiene un alma, ¿no? Pero este alma, pero estas personas permanecen en la ignorancia de no saber quiénes realmente son. Entonces, es como que van de un lado para el otro, y quieren sentir placer, no quieren sentir pena. Solo las personas especiales, buscan el significado que tiene la vida, ¿no? Y de alguna manera sienten que están en una prisión, pero esta prisión es desde la visión que ellos mismos tienen de que estamos en una prisión. Es la visión. Eh, Solo aquellos que pueden tener la suerte de encontrar un maestro iluminado pueden tener idea de la realidad, de lo que es la armonía, la paz y la libertad, pero tampoco conocen bien el significado de la libertad, ¿no? La libertad es, bueno, no quiero que el gobierno tal cosa o tal persona me haga tal otra. Tienen una conciencia de libertad que tiene que ver con lo relativo y no con lo real. Este, pero
Yeah.
los que encuentran maestros, bueno, les van dando esa idea y bueno, comienzan una búsqueda. Ya, to start the seeking of
Yes.
the real, ¿no?
It's yes, and also see the word guru in common language means a spiritual master, somebody who teaches you what is right and what is wrong, how to live life in harmony, how not to hurt others, etc., etc. That is called a guru, you see. Not, how to stay away from the wrong path in life, and kind of holds your hand so that you don't fall down, you see. Whereas the Sadguru, Sad means, Sad is the same as, Sad I've written down, is the same as Satguru, you say Satguru, the eternal master, you see, and the eternal master is the Gnani, you see. And the Gnani himself is in the Sat, established in the real, and therefore he doesn't have any desire for anything in the relative. He does not want to be praised. He does not want any money from you. He does not want you to follow him. He doesn't. He just is there to liberate you. He is just there to give you the right vision, you see, the right knowledge, the right Gnan, you see. Says of Sadguru. So you're right. On the basis of some good karma in the previous life, some human beings follow the right path, They listen to the words of God, whoever they believe in, they're faithful, and, they kind of avoid hurting others, you see. And that is good, it will bring them higher and higher fruits in their next life, you see. More time, more go closer to the reality, but not attaining reality. Reality is only possible when you meet the exact right eternal guru, with the one master who represents the real. You see, our Dadashri is the classic example, you see. Jesus is the classic example. Mahavir is the classic example. Muhammad is the classic example. These are the enlightened, awakened ones, you see.
El gurú se conoce, es alguien que te enseña cómo vivir en armonía, a vivir bien, sin herir, te da la mano para sostenerte, pero nada más. Y está el Sadguru, que es que es el eterno maestro, es el Gnani, el que se estableció en lo real y que no quiere absolutamente nada, no quiere que te arrodilles a sus pies, que le des plata, no quiere nada, solo está ahí para liberarte, ¿no? Para darte la visión, el conocimiento, el Gnani. Este, y esto se debe a que en vidas pasadas que has traído, perdón, y el gurú, no el Sadguru, el gurú está en lo relativo. Y bueno, yendo al Sadguru, que en este caso es el Nani, lo alcanzás debido al buen karma, ¿no? De que traes de otras vidas, de escuchar la palabra de Dios, donde creas que estaba Dios, con fe, vas desarrollando fe, evitas herir a otras personas, y todo esto trae buenos frutos,
Yeah,
tan
it's
buenos frutos que en esta vida encontrás a uno que está en lo real, que se encuentra en lo real y que quiere venir a liberarte, ¿no? Y el Nani es un Sadguru, Jesús, Mahadir, Mohammed, Ellos
Yeah,
han venido a liberar.
yeah, they're and only the talks and the discussions about the Sadguru, you see, the eternal Guru, and the existence of such a one can lead a human being towards that center that we have been talking about. You see, no more spinning life after life after life. You know, we talked about these horrible actions of governments, whether it was a government of the Nazi government or the the same kind of things happening in America right now. You see that that is how it is in the relative. Dadashri says the world is the puzzle itself, you see. And there are two viewpoints to solve this puzzle, you know. You have to have the two viewpoints to come out of it. There is no other way you can come out of it. Otherwise, the hate and the anger towards the people who are doing this, you see, continues inside, you know, continues inside, and it opens up as, and it results in a living Pudgal, a living body that is full of hate and revenge, you see. Uh,
Dice que hablar de un eterno gurú es lo que simplemente te puede llegar a ayudar a llevarte evolucionando. Y Dada dice que el mundo en sí mismo es un rompecabezas. La única manera de resolverlo es ver los dos puntos de vista. Y todo, y por ejemplo, ver todo lo que está sucediendo puede provocarte odio, enojo, y todo esto continúa dentro del cuerpo. Y finalmente lo que termina buscando es venganza, revancha.
you know, Anila will tell you that the Nazi soldiers of Hitler, they didn't cover their face completely like robbers and thugs, you know, to come and pick out the people who did not, whom they wanted to forcibly take out. They kept their faces open. What is happening here on TV is beyond that. All their faces are covered. You don't know who they are. You see, you don't know who they are. And they are allowed to carry guns and they're allowed to beat the people in public, you see.
Yes. Dice, Anila puede hablar de esto, ¿no? Y recordar que los nazis, por ejemplo, cuando iban a llevarse a la gente, no se cubrían la cara, iban a cara descubierta, y así se llevaban a las personas, como si fuera algo natural. Ahora las personas que en Estados Unidos están llevándose a la gente, a ellos les es permitido llevar armas, pero van con la cara cubierta. Entonces no sabes quién te está llevando.
So as you and I see in our very life, with Anila saying, having seen much more than you and I have seen, you see. In front of our very eyes, you can see the progression of evil, you see. You know, to the, you know, and it is not the human being that is evil, it is the ego that is evil. It is the ego that has become uglier and uglier and uglier and absolutely animalistic, worse than animals, you see.
Yes. Anila puede ver esto, puede entenderlo mucho mejor que cualquiera de todos nosotros, ¿no? Y vemos que todo esto es el progreso del ego, ¿no? Como el ego va creciendo y se va transformando en algo horrible, feo y cada vez peor, peor que
Yes,
un animal. Ni siquiera un animal. Animals don't do these things.
yes, yes. And It is not as if it's happening now in America. It has happened all over the world, you see, in the history of mankind. It has, these things, what Shuddha is describing right now, going on in America, has happened to practically every country in South America. Every country, you see. Yeah. Your people have been victims of such horrible evil, you see.
Y esto que está sucediendo no solo pasa ahora, sino que esto es histórico, esto viene pasando, y viene pasando no solamente en Estados Unidos, sino que también ha pasado y sigue sucediendo también en Sudamérica. Y estos son estos horribles egos.
So, Dadashri calls them majority of the human beings that we see as human beings have come into this world as human beings with a return ticket. You know, a return ticket? A return ticket back to the animal kingdom. Right now they've got 2 legs. The next life they will have 2 more legs and a tail. You see?
Acá dice que la mayoría de los seres humanos han vuelto con el ticket de retorno. Retorno a donde ahora tienen 2 piernas, pero van a volver al mundo o al estado de 4 piernas.
And some, the killers of human beings, have a special place in hell, even go worse than animal kingdom, you see.
Y algunos seres humanos no solamente van a ir al reino animal, sino que van a ir al infierno.
Yeah, it's not only Dada saying, that is in all the scriptures of all the religions, you see.
Esto no solo lo dice Dada, esto está en todas las escrituras.
Yeah. Hell and heaven are created, are invited by human beings in ignorance, you see, in ignorance of the self. And that is why the ones who have realized the self, you see, the ones who have come closer to God become free from this, you see. They don't have to go in any direction, neither in heaven nor in hell. Both are coming back into this life, you see. If what are we going to do if we go to heaven? You see, we have more of the same, we all the physical desires, all the sensual desires are fulfilled, and then what? You see, whatever you want is there, and then what? And the kashais are still there in the celestial being too, in the celestial realm too, you see.
Bueno, el infierno y el cielo también han sido construidos por los seres humanos, pero acá no se trata ni de ir a lo celestial o al infierno, porque volver a lo celestial, ahí vas a seguir manteniendo los deseos, las sensaciones y los calláis. ¿Y entonces qué?
You see, bhaav, the view, belongs to Shuddha, to Gavi, not to me. I am beyond bhaav, the view. See, and the bhaav, the view, is highly influenced by where you are. Location, what is in front of you, and whether or not some kashais are operating inside. Greed, wanting more of something, you see. So, or anger, hating something, or and all bhavs are influenced by this anger, pride, deceit, and greed. We read this in the previous chapter here, in the previous satsang. You see, anger, pride, deceit, and greed manipulates. And Dadashri says all of these bhavs, all of these views are now, they belong to the one that is relative, which is file 1. You see, file 1 has this view and this bhaav, and I am the blissful knower and the seer of these views. If there is something going on within Julia or Marcella or Moni, you see, you can see it. You can see it, right, Moni? You can see it. You can see what is going on. And that is the darshan of the Ama, right, Arman? You can see what is going on inside Arman. You can see that, right, Arman? You can see it. Arman, hola, Jai Sachidanand.
¿Puedes ver, Germán, esto que está sucediendo? Que todo lo que la visión de Shuddha o de Gaby no me pertenece, es la locación, lo que hay enfrente, ¿no? Algunos calláis queriendo algo, odiando algo, todos esos calláis están, pero todo esto le pertenece al file one que tiene esta visión y este ego. Y esta es la pregunta, si puedes ver qué sucede. Y
Yeah.
cuando puedes ver lo que sucede, esto es el darshan del alma.
Carlos and Gonzalo, you can see what is going on inside Carlos and Gonzalo. Can you not, Carlos? Yeah, you can see it.
¿Pueden ver lo que sucede dentro de ustedes?
Yes, you can see that. And you know, just the ability to see it means you're free. It's not happening to you. You know that it is happening to that which has arisen as a programmed machine that is happening here. You can see it. You can see it. And in the seeing lies the freedom. This is the darshan of the self, Atma darshan, the view of the self. I can see this. I can see this in Gabi. You can see this in Gabi. Sandra can see this in Sandra. I can see this in Shuddha, right? You can see this in Anila, and you're free. The seer is always free. The seer is always free. Whether it is hell outside or heaven outside. You see, you're free. You're free. Right, Reinhold? Shuddhatma Bhagavan? Yes? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Should I have a question?
Yeah. Seeing is the
Si
freedom.
solo tienes la habilidad de poder de ver, y cuando tienes esta habilidad eres libre. Ves que esto le sucede, que le está sucediendo al archivo 1, al file 1, y esto es el Atma Darshan. Puedo ver que todo esto está sucediendo en el file 1. Y el que ve es siempre libre, aunque afuera esté el infierno o esté el paraíso. Es libre.
Yes. So this, this magnificent vision, this magnificent darshan means whatever is happening within this mind, speech, and body, and to this mind, speech, and body, and around this mind, speech, and body, whether the world likes it or not, whether the world can afford it or not, tolerate it or not, in all of that, I am not doing anything. I am not doing anything. And that is absolute vision. That is Kevad Darshan, absolute vision. That means there is zero doership of yours in this anymore. You see, it is happening. It is happening. And you are now completely out of the spinning cycle, you see. You're completely out of the spinning cycle. You are in here. You're here. And you're here. And you're here. And you're here. And from 2% you're going to go all over this domain and the kingdom of the self, you see. I. And you know, that is what Dada is now discussing in Satsang, this bhaav, the view of oneness, you see. The view of oneness. Really, I am the same as the one in that murderer or in that torturer, or, you know, that is, I mean, that is a very, very high view, you know. That is a very, very high view. I am the one. And, you know, and thereby you separate, you know, from any fault finding or right, wrong, or, you know, that is how it is. The relative is what it is. You see, it has ever existed and it will forever exist in this Kali Yuga. For the next 84,000 years, it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse on this earth of ours, you see.
Dice
Vivo.
que este magnífico darshan es lo que sucede, ¿no? Y poder ver lo que hay en la mente, el habla y el cuerpo, lo que sucede allí alrededor, lo bueno, lo malo, es lo que está sucediendo. Nada estoy haciendo, estoy en absoluta visión, cero hacedor, solo está sucediendo. Sin nuestra, cuando en esta visión vamos de los del 2% hasta el reino del ser, es la bhaav, la visión de la unidad. Y yo soy el mismo que el que roba o que tortura, ¿no? Y estoy separado de todo lo que es bueno o malo. Soy uno, estoy en unidad con todos. Pero esto en lo relativo existe y va a seguir existiendo en esta época de Kali Yuga por 44.000 años más, y cada vez se va a volver peor, peor y peor.
Illusion means the belief of the ego, not the ego, but the ego sees it in the wrong direction. The ego arises because our existence, our view, our home, you and I have shifted from who we really are into something that we are not. That is the ego. Ego is the illusion. We are not this ego. We are in the self which is beyond all illusions, beyond all illusion. Illusion, ego is the illusion. I am Damian is the illusion. You say, I am Damian. I can see what Damian's mind is thinking. I am not thinking. I can see what Damian's mind is feeling. I am not feeling. I am aware of those feelings, you see. Now you have come, you're now seeing with absolute vision. There is no way you can see this if you were not awakened, you see.
La ignorancia es creer en el ego. Ese es el error. Y el ego nos saca de quién verdaderamente somos a lo que no somos, ¿no? Todo eso es ilusión. El ego es ilusión. Dice, yo puedo ver qué es lo que piensa Damián, pero yo no pienso. Yo puedo ver lo que Damián siente, pero yo no siento, no tengo sentimientos. Y dice que no hay forma de ver si no estás en esa visión.
Yeah, you see, this Dada again and again asks, we have read this
Si no
last
estás
time.
despierto, perdón. Si no estás despierto. No hay forma de ver si no estás despierto.
This is the paragraph that we read in the last satsang. But again and again, we need to come back. This is very high level stuff right now. You see, the view of oneness. You see, this is what where love, L capital love, begins. You see, the real love begins. You see, it is by understanding this point of view. Did you understand this point of view? This is something of a different kind altogether. And one should become the embodiment of love, Prema Swarup. There is not a sense, forget about the word sense, there is oneness with everyone. And no differences exist at all. It's not a question of feeling. There is no difference at all. On the contrary, but here we say, this is mine, this is yours. But do yours and mine exist when you are about to leave this world, not this body, this world of the world of this body? This body has this world. You are the owner of, yours is the entire universe without the body, you see, yours and mine. So, but does the yours and mine exist when you're about to die or leave this body? So it is due to this disease that one feels a sense of separation. When that disease leaves, you see, through the Gnani Purush and his Satsang, one becomes the embodiment of love, L capital. This is L capital love. Okay, now you read this again, please.
Por favor, Luz, ¿podrías leer?
Yeah, Luz,
¿Has
read.
entendido este punto de vista? Esto es algo totalmente diferente y uno debe convertirse en la encarnación del amor, Pren Swarup. Hay un sentimiento de unidad con todo el mundo y no se sienten diferencias en absoluto. Por el contrario, él afirma, esto es mío y aquello es tuyo. Pero, ¿existe lo tuyo y lo mío cuando estás a punto de irte de este cuerpo? Así que es debido a esta enfermedad que uno siente una sensación de separación. Cuando esa enfermedad se va, uno se convierte en la encarnación del amor.
Yes. You see, we have known, you and I have known these human beings, such human beings who have become the embodiment of love. The premier one is Gnani Purush Dadashri, and now we have known his Gnanis, Puja Niruma, Puja Deepak Bhai, who are very close, who have become. Niruma became the embodiment of love. The Gnani Deepak Bhai is becoming that, you see. He is in the process of becoming the embodiment of love, you see. His is an internal rise, you see. This is happening. You see, this is happening. Mahatmas are becoming the embodiment of love to the extent that they rise in Agna vision, you see, Agnas only, you see. So this is the scientific process of becoming the embodiment of love, you see. No longer spinning. Stay where you belong, the center. Stay in the center. Say, this is who am I, who I am. I am this non-revolving center. Moving away from this center of the Amapura, it starts the spinning, starts the spinning, starts the spinning. And the distances of spinning slowly decrease as you go into the Agnas. As with the Agna vision, you are instantly in the center. With the Agna vision says this is Vyavasthit. Not this that has resulted is Vyavasthit. Even higher than this is the result of Vyavasthit is that this in front of me is Vyavasthit. You see, by the second. Vyavasthit by the second. Not, so there is no beginning, no end, just Vyavasthit.
Yes. Es el amor con letras mayúsculas, en lo que vamos es el camino, ¿no? Y hemos conocido a Dada, a Niruma, a Deepak Pai. Niruma, ella se transformó en un ser de amor. Deepak Pai está en proceso, en un proceso interno de ser así el cuerpo del amor. Es solo a través de la visión de las agnas, y dejar de dar, basta de dar vueltas, quedarte en el centro. Y cuando sientas que estás que tomas distancia del centro, vuelves con la visión de las agnas, vuelves instantáneamente y dices, esto es Yavasti. Pero más allá es esto que está frente a mí, es Yavasti. Y en el instante vuelves al centro, vuelves
Okay.
a la unidad.
And
Yes.
this is uh, you see,
Which page,
yeah,
Shuddha, please,
this
for the
is
next?
for the next year. This thing is page 84. You see, page 84. You see, for next, we have covered all this. You see what Luz just read. Luz, for the next part, because otherwise we would not have moved even a paragraph. Just read this. This is for next satsang. Luz.
Lu, ¿querés leer esto, por favor?
El amor puro significa verme a mí mismo en todos. Yo estoy de hecho en todos y yo solo me veo a mí mismo. De lo contrario, en lugar de yo, habrá que hablar de ti. Si yo no soy visto, entonces tú eres visto. Uno de los dos siempre será visible, ¿no es así? En la interacción mundana yo y tú deben ser hablados, pero solo yo debo ser visto. ¿Qué significa la encarnación del amor? Ver a todos con una visión de unidad, actuar con una visión de unidad, moverse con una visión de unidad y mantener solo la visión de unidad. Significa abandonar creencias como esta persona está separada. Eso en sí mismo se llama encarnación del amor. Nos sentimos como si todos fuéramos una sola familia.
This, so my dear friends, this is going so high, that we have to, it takes time to rise. When you're reaching the peak of a mountain, your speed is very slow now. You just can't go like when you were on flat ground or slightly angled ground. Now you're rising higher, you see. So even if we take 3 or 4 sessions per paragraph, that's fine. There's no place to go. Now it is like rising to the top. You say rising higher, higher, higher. This is a fantastic vision of Dada. Oneness. Whether he's an enemy or a friend, there is that one view of oneness, you see. This is a fantastic vision, and to this vision all of us give our highest namaskars, our love-filled namaskars. We carry on in the next satsang.
Bueno, estamos por ahí llegando al nivel más elevado, ¿no? Y este nivel más elevado es el que va a tomar, es como subir al pico de la montaña, ¿no? No vamos a estar con la misma fuerza que cuando estábamos en la base, nos va a llevar un poco más, tal vez leamos un párrafo por vez, pero esto es tan elevado y tan importante, la visión de la unidad. Y nos da los más elevados saludos. Highest Namaskar Shuddha. Thank you, beautiful Satsang.
Thank you, Marcela dear, and
Ayuda.
Patricia.
Gracias,
Thank
Shuddha.
you. Thank you,
Gracias,
Dada,
Pati,
Pati.
Thank you
Marcelo.
so much, Shuddha.
Shuddha
gracias,
Bhagwan.
Patri. Bhagwan.
Abrazos,
Shudama
Mahatma.
Yes,
Abrazo.
Dada.
Abrazos.
Gracias, Shudama Bhagwan.
all
Muchas
in oneness.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Yes.
Gracias, Patri.
Yes,
Gracias a todos.
yes, the gratitude.
Gracias a todos. Jai Sachidana.
Jai
Jai
Sachidanand,
Sachidanand.
Olga and Carlos and everyone here. Yes,
Jai Sachidanand.
Sachidanand, Jai Sachidanand. Until we meet again, Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand. Gonzalo and
Gracias.
Olga, everyone.